Your partner tells AI what they will not tell you. That can feel like replacement. But the real question is whether AI is helping them come closer or making it easier to stay away.
Imagine this happens after an argument. Your partner opens a chatbot and describes what you said, what they felt, and what they are afraid the argument means. They ask whether the relationship is unhealthy. They admit a fear they have, never said aloud to you.
Later, you learn that the conversation happened.
The painful part is not only the subject, it is the order. Something without a shared history, a body, or a stake in the relationship heard the vulnerable version first. You were close enough to be affected by the conclusion, but not close enough to be included while it was forming. That hurt is real, but it does not automatically tell you why your partner used AI or what the behavior means. Private reflection is not automatically betrayal. People have always written in journals, talked to friends, rehearsed difficult conversations, and searched for language when their feelings were still confusing. A chatbot adds something different. It is available immediately. It does not show disappointment on its face. It does not interrupt. The user can rewrite the question, remove an embarrassing detail, or begin again without dealing with the reaction of another person. For someone who feels ashamed, overwhelmed, or afraid of conflict, that can make disclosure feel easier. Easier, however, is not the same as healthier.
The clearest way to understand the role of AI is to ask whether it is acting as a bridge, a buffer, or a replacement.
A bridge helps a person organize what they feel so they can bring it into the relationship. They may use AI to find calmer words, separate a complaint from an accusation, or identify the question they actually need to ask. The important part is that the conversation eventually moves toward the partner.
A buffer creates temporary space. Someone may need time to calm down before speaking. They may want to test whether their first interpretation still makes sense after the emotional intensity drops. A buffer is not automatically avoidance, but a healthy buffer has an endpoint. It delays the conversation without quietly deleting it.
A replacement is different. AI becomes the place where feelings are repeatedly disclosed, the relationship is evaluated, and decisions are rehearsed or made, while the partner affected by those decisions remains outside. The person may feel deeply understood, yet the human relationship receives only the final conclusion, the emotional distance, or no explanation at all. These categories are not diagnoses. One conversation cannot tell you which pattern exists. The same person might use AI as a bridge one day and as a shield the next. So the first useful question is not why you told AI instead of me. That question may be honest, but it can push the conversation directly into defense. A more revealing question is what that conversation helped you do next. Did it help you name a feeling and bring it to your partner? Did it help you pause before saying something cruel? Or did it make the private interpretation feel so complete that a real conversation started to seem unnecessary? The observable behavior matters more than a guessed motive. Look at what happened after the chat. Did your partner become clearer and more open? Did they return with a request you could respond to? Or did they become more certain about your intentions without checking whether their interpretation matched your experience? There are several possible explanations. They may have feared your reaction. They may struggle to name feelings in real time. Previous conversations may have become defensive or chaotic. They may simply be experimenting with a convenient tool. Those explanations can create compassion, but they do not erase the impact of being excluded. Both things can be true. AI may have felt safer to them, and the way it was used may still have increased distance between you. Then comes the part that makes this more complicated than private journaling. A journal does not answer back. A chatbot does. Recent experiments on interpersonal advice found that AI responses could be more agreeable than human advice, and people often preferred the more affirming responses. That does not mean every chatbot always takes the side of the user. It means an answer can feel supportive while strengthening confidence in a story that the other partner never had a chance to complete. The chatbot receives the details one person chooses to enter. It does not independently witness the argument. It does not know which moments were omitted, softened, or misunderstood. Yet its response can return with calm language and a structured explanation that sounds more neutral than the input really was. That creates the midpoint reversal. The problem may not be only that AI heard the relationship story first. The problem may be that the private version from one partner came back sounding like an outside verdict. So before deciding whether AI is a bridge, a buffer, or a replacement, you have to examine the part that feels objective but may not be neutral, how the question was framed, what was left out, and what the answer encouraged them to do next. The frame around the question matters first. There is a difference between asking whether a partner is selfish and asking what each person was trying to protect in that moment. The first question begins with a verdict. The second leaves room for information. Then look at what was omitted. Was the earlier conversation mentioned? Was the other person under unusual stress? Did both partners interrupt? Missing context does not automatically make the user dishonest. People naturally tell stories from where they are standing, but a partial account should not be treated as complete evidence about their motives. Finally, examine what the answer encouraged. Did it suggest a calmer conversation, a clear request, or time to reflect? Or did it increase certainty and make direct communication feel pointless? That is the practical distinction. AI is acting more like a bridge when the person returns with clarity and willingness to hear information that may change the story. It is acting more like a buffer when the pause is temporary and followed by a real conversation. It is acting more like a replacement when private analysis repeatedly produces conclusions about the relationship while shared discussion keeps shrinking. None of these patterns require you to demand the transcript. Privacy and secrecy are not identical. Privacy gives a person room to think. Relational secrecy hides information that materially changes what both people are participating in. A private draft of an apology may be ordinary reflection. Quietly using AI to plan a breakup, make a major financial decision, or build a case against a partner can have a different impact because the consequences belong to both people. The boundary is not that every prompt must be shared. The boundary is whether private processing supports open, honest participation or avoids it. The receiving partner also has a role. If difficult disclosures meet ridicule, interruption, punishment, or immediate counterattack, someone may seek a safer place to organize thoughts. That does not excuse permanent withdrawal. It identifies something that may need to change. The goal is not to compete with the chatbot. The goal is to make the human conversation safe enough for truth and strong enough for disagreement. 4 questions can help. First, what were you hoping AI would help you do? Second, did the conversation help you move toward me or make it easier to stay away? Third, were you using it to think or asking it to decide who was right? Fourth, what should remain private and what affects both of us enough to be discussed together? These questions create a boundary instead of a surveillance role. The answers may not be comfortable. A partner may admit that AI felt calmer because past conversations felt unsafe. The other person may admit that exclusion activated fear before curiosity. The deeper problem may be that one person cannot speak freely, and the other cannot trust what happens in private. Or the pattern may be simpler. Someone used a new tool once, found better words, and brought them back into the relationship. One event does not establish a diagnosis. Repeated behavior provides more information. Watch the direction of movement. Does private reflection lead toward shared reality? Or does it create a parallel relationship story that only one person can see? That is the major revelation. The issue is not simply that AI heard it first. The issue is whether the human partner is eventually allowed to respond, add context,
and participate in decisions that affect them. You can respect privacy and still ask for relational accountability. You can understand why AI felt easier and still say that important conclusions should not arrive as unexplained distance. You can refuse to search private chats and still request an agreement about AI use. If there are threats, coercion, stalking, serious deception, or immediate safety concerns, ordinary communication advice may not be enough. Safety and qualified support take priority. But in many everyday situations, the next step is not a verdict. It is a conversation about the role the tool is playing.
Is it helping you find the door back to each other? Is it giving you a short pause before you walk through that door? Or has it become a room where the relationship is discussed without the relationship ever being invited inside?
In your view, when does AI become a bridge, and when does it become a replacement? Share the boundary that would matter most to you.